Peace, man. I'm Trip, an old hippy-dippy calligrapher, sign painter, and artist. Since I don't take my talent too seriously, I suppose I'm a bit of a flake. But what the fuck? Some people tell me that I'm gifted. But hey, I wasn't born with a pencil, brush, pen, or even a crayon stuck in my hand. Just like you, I came into this world naked, starkers, butt naked. However, what I've always done since I was a little boy, when I colored inside and outside of the lines, is worked real hard at whatever I was trying to create artistically, and it's paid off. I'm one of the lucky ones. I've actually made a living off my artsy abilities. It's as if I never had to grow up. But hey, you don't want to hear me spout off any more than I want to listen to myself. So let's get on with it, shall we?
The origin of calligraphy dates back to ancient China, where all educated men, and some women, were expected to learn how to write their language with the use of a brush. Now, I'm hardly an authority on Oriental philosophy. Fuck, come to think of it, I'm hardly an authority on anything. But like Suzuki's words, which incidentally I hand-lettered using a couple of fonts inside this workbook, has a definite meaning for me. A calligrapher, like any other artist, is only as good as his tools, and I've always tried to have the very best. A shaver's calligraphy pen and the number 3 nib, which was the widest one of the 3 nibs that came in the set, was used for the lettering in this workbook. It gives a nice thick and thin stroke. I sometimes use a straight pen, such as this one. Unlike the fountain pen that can be filled with ink, it must be dipped in a bottle of ink. Notice how broad the nib is, which makes for great titles. This lettering brush, which has sable hair, cost me about $50, way back when. But hey, if you care for them like I have, they last a long time, and they're worth the extra money. I can't remember where I bought this pen set. It's been so long ago. However, I have seen them in craft stores like Michael's. Be sure to use non-waterproof inks in these sort of fountain pens, because if the ink dries, it could screw up the nibs. ABC calligraphy describes not only how each letter is formed, but also the spacing between letters and words. There are 4 fonts to learn: Foundational, Unical, Gothic, and Flare. Each font is illustrated so you can use your pen directly on top of the letter's gray image. To demonstrate practicing lettering each font, rather than use one of the workbooks, I photocopied some of the pages, which you could do as well if needed. The foundational font is sort of a standard font, not very fancy. To begin with, trace over the gray letters until you are comfortable enough to try them on your own. Remember to hold the pen at a 45-degree angle, and take your time. A tougher font to letter is Gothic, or Old English. However, on that note, if you follow the steps accurately, it's not as difficult as you might think. It's best when using this font not to make all the words capital letters, as it will be very difficult to read. This particular font is recommended for certificates, but can be ideal for many other projects as well. The Flare font is one that I sort of made up. Like the Gothic font, one shouldn't make all the words with capital letters. I designed it so that the foundation lowercase letters would work well with it. When doing the swirls, try to do them without lifting the pen, as it gives a better flow to the letter. For this page, I used the Unical font. At the end of each font exercise, there are 2 complete sentences, using each letter of the alphabet. When you're comfortable at how everything is proceeding, try lettering them on your own. You should take your time, and if you're like me, I always get a kick out of watching a blank piece of paper come to life. It's like magic. The thing to remember about creating fancy lettering is, even if the finished product isn't perfect, most likely no one will notice. Also, if one letters a greeting card or a poem, it's the gift that counts, nothing better than a handmade card. Take, for instance, this little birthday poem that I wrote for my mom when she was stricken with cancer and died not long after. It's not perfect, but it was heartfelt. She really liked it.
I hope you liked this wee video and it's been of some help to you. If you would like a copy of ABC Calligraphy, please send an email to lenwsherman@gmail.com or PM me on Facebook. Trippin' Daisy. Peace and love, everybody.
This is a Trippin' Daisy production.